Welcome to On the Mat with Jen Star, where you can move, breathe, play, or find stillness all in 20 minutes or less. My philosophy as a teacher, if you can find your alignment on the mat, you will absolutely feel more aligned off the mat in your everyday life. Let's begin.
Hello and welcome back. So in today's practice, we are going to rest and restore. We will do 3 poses, and before we get started, let's just do a little prop check, okay? So the first thing that you'll need is a bolster. You could also use a couple thicker pillows. I've seen people use throw pillows from their couch. So this is first thing, something or a couple things that will give you that heavy but grounded support. Second thing you will use today is a blanket. You could use a thicker beach towel, a blanket, a throw blanket. If you have a yoga blanket, great. That will be our second thing. And then the last 2 things, you will need 2 blocks for this practice, okay? So let me set you up in the first pose. So just watch me briefly, and then I will have you set up into it, okay? So I'm gonna scoot to the back of my mat, and I will take one of my blocks in the long, medium level, and then take the bolster and prop it up so that I have this little bit of a tunnel underneath, okay? Now, there's a million different ways you can use your props. So if you have a sensitivity, hips and knees, you could take your blanket and open up your blanket a little bit wider in this so that it just gives some extra padding to the floor. I will also show you my personal favorite is when I fold the blanket. When I start to set this up, you are going to bring your left hip, and I know that sometimes you're like right, left, you can go either direction and it's okay, but I'm gonna bring my left hip into the bolster and I will use my blanket to fold and bring my legs into this tabletop position where my feet feel connected and my top leg feels mirror image-ish over the bottom leg, okay? So I create this L shape in my legs, hip is connected to bolster, wrap your heart toward the bolster and start to find your fold, okay? Let your head relax, let your elbows relax. Now let's see you try, okay? So as you're setting it up, medium level block with the bolster on top, you'll turn and bring one of your hips into the bolster. And then final thing, either settling the blanket between the legs or not. You can also make an S sit if this serves you better. You'll wrap and find your forward fold to let your heart relax, let your hands relax on the mat, and then turn a cheek to the right or to the left. Your body will tell you what feels best in this and go with that intuition of it, okay? So as you set this up, you are gonna breathe here for the next few minutes. And as you breathe, I will be here to hold space for you. You'll have quiet little pockets, okay? Know that I have not gone away, I am here. And as you settle into the pose, remember that restorative yoga is there to support you, literally support you with props. So on your next exhale, let your body, your bones just release and settle into the support that is offered today. We're not here to be perfect in any way. You don't even have to try. You've set up the pose, and now allow yourself to just sink into it. Trust the support that is being offered to you. And as you breathe here, we're gonna go for about 3 minutes in total. But know that if you practice these videos outside of YouTube and you start to embody these 3 poses, you could be here for up to 10, 12, 15, even 20 minutes if you would like to. Allow your breath to flow in and out of the body. Deep, long inhale. Smooth, long exhale. And whatever sensations, thoughts, information wants to flow, acknowledge, but try to let it go. Like clouds passing in the sky, we're not holding on to anything as we breathe into this posture. As you settle into your body, notice, are you holding on anywhere? Unclench the jaw. Let the shoulders be heavy. Feel the hands and the forearms connect down into the earth. Effortless. And at one point, come back to your breath. Allow it to expand and contract within you. Feel your body rise and open as you inhale and settle even more with every exhale you take. Layer by layer, more softening occurs. Now, if you've drifted off in any way, stay in the posture, continue to stay heavy, but hear my voice once again talking to you. Allow yourself to take 2 to 3 more deeper breaths as a way to pull yourself back up to the surface. Now, as we remove ourselves from this pose, be gentle. Go so slow, slower than what I'm talking to you. Let your hands find the ground first, and then give the ground a nice push away, allowing your butt bones to connect, the ribs, the head to stack up. When you come to an upright position, gently turn away from the bolster, widen your feet, and windshield wiper slowly side to side. Blink the eyes, take a deep breath, let it out through the mouth. Just let yourself reset before we twist to side 2. And then when you're ready, turn and set it up for the second side. Now, as I do this with you, I'm just adjusting to go the opposite direction. You just literally need to turn to the second side. Keep your setup how it is. Plug the outer edge of your hip into the bolster. If you like the idea of bringing the cushion of a blanket, find your way into that stacked position, knee over knee, ankle over ankle. Rotate your heart toward the bolster and then forward fold on down. Let there be heaviness in the support. Let your head release, let your elbows release. Listen to your body and the communication that it gives you. You might be a little different on this side than you were the first side, and there's no expectation to be the same. And as you stay open to that communication, in the next 30 seconds, maybe to a minute, if something's still tugging at you and needs to be adjusted, you can come out of the pose and set it up once again. There is no right or wrong to this practice. We are truly trying to set up the support that we need through the props that we have today. Once you get into the pose, allow yourself to close the eyes. And if the eyes don't feel like closing, because there's times and days where they don't, settle your gaze. Let your eyelids shield over the eye with a soft, steady gaze. Try not to look around, because that will stir your energy. Go back into your body. Remind yourself that it is okay to trust the support that is given to you. It is okay to ease up and soften. Allow your breath to flow and expand through the rib cage with each inhale. And find even more heaviness with every exhale you take. Embrace the moment and the quietness in between my words and communication to you. Wherever your practice space is, because it's different from everybody, from a home to an apartment, maybe outdoors in the grass, perhaps in your office. There's going to be different sounds, different life activities happening around you in those various places. And we can't control it all. So control what you can control in this moment, let the rest go. Breathe into the idea that even when life is moving around us like a tornado, we can make a conscious choice to pause and be still, like you're standing in the eye of the tornado. Feel the connection of the parts of yourself that are grounded into the floor. Just honor the heavy sensation of getting more connected, more grounded. And then allow yourself to reconnect to a little more depth in the breath, slowly coming back to surface, slowly bringing your energy back up without moving the body yet. And then feel your hands slide back, or elbows slide back, for your hands to gently push into the ground. Peel yourself on up and do the same thing we did the first round. Turn to the back of your mat and windshield wiper the legs side to side. Now, really slow and gently, flip around, remove the props for a second. Come into an all-fours position and just do a couple light cat-cows. Your inhale, deep breath in, pelvis tips forward, heart lifts. Your exhale, tail hooks, nose curls into belly. Fingers are spread wide like a starfish on each hand. Lift the heart, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, breathe on out. All right, so next posture. Grab your pillows, your thicker pillows or your bolster. Two options here. Some people do not like to fully recline in this, so you could set this up once again so it looks very similar to our first twist. Medium-sized block, bolster on top. You could also take the block away, which this is the one I'm going to demo. Take the block away. This time the back of your sacrum and pelvis connects into the bolster, and you lie down, allowing your elbows to be heavy, your palms to turn up, legs can be long. Another lovely option as you go into this is to use your blanket, roll it on up into a Tootsie Roll and bring it under the backs of the knees. This sometimes can be supportive and find more release into the lower back. And for me, it even just gives a little more release through the legs, okay? So allow yourself to come into this posture, bolster propped or not. Give yourself, once you arrive there, give yourself 30 seconds or a minute to just settle on in. And then if something is still tugging at you, make the appropriate adjustments, okay? This posture is called supported fish pose. And just like the first posture when we did the supported twist, I am here to just hold space and be with you. So let go of the idea that you have to look towards me or the computer at any point. I'm with you as we go into this restorative next few minutes. Okay, and those minutes will start right now. Perhaps invite a deep inhale in through the nose once you first get into this, and let the exhale move out through the mouth like a sigh. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes when we go into postures, we're still holding on to something, we're still anticipating, and the cleansing breath out through the mouth can be that moment where you're telling your body, it's okay to release now. We can settle and we can be here. So do that at any point in this practice, but sometimes when you first get in, there's a little bit of holding on to something. Try to let it go. Trust the support of the props under you right now. And if the body feels good here, trust that you don't need to change anything. You can just be as you are. In supported fish, there is something so lovely around opening the heart space of our body, the center of the chest. With each breath you take, allow the breath to move into the space and allow there to feel and sense an opening occurring. The armor that we guard our heart with in life, imagine layer by layer, a piece of that armor coming off with each breath you take to just open your heart back up to the world. And also, front body openers, heart openers, are back bends. So you're giving your spine a little bit of TLC in this particular posture too. So breathe down the length of the spine into the vertebrate column from the tail all the way up to where the head attaches at the atlas point. Feel a sense of being supported in space. Front body, back body, it is all supported. Start to deepen your breath here in this posture. Now again, there's nothing to see, so keep your eyes closed or grounded. But as you make your exit out of this pose, everyone will look a little different. I just pour over like liquid gold. I literally just turn to a side, allow myself to pour off of the props. I pause, so when I get to my side, I pause there for a moment, and then ever so gently take the same TLC and care to press my way up to an upright position. This round, clear the props just for a moment. Bring your feet together in Baddha Konasana to create a butterfly in the legs, and just allow yourself to fold on down. Some of you will fold quite a bit. Others will bring the hands back behind. The fold might be the chin turning down and you just pausing for a moment to breathe into a different posture to hit the reset button. Slowly release from the posture and come back up. All right, as you are still in your Zen space, I will set us up for our last posture. This one is 2 blocks. Not too close, not too far apart. I want to be just right. Think 6 inches in between, so you create a steady foundation or stable foundation for your pillows or your bolster to go on top. Okay, you can even kind of give it a little shake and check it out, okay? From here, there's this little bit of adjustability for your height, but I will bring the blanket behind me just so I know that the support is there and I can adjust that in a moment. Get close to your bolster, and over each block, bring your calf muscles, okay? And then I'll wiggle my hips towards the bolster just a little extra for me to start to lie down onto the blanket. This is where the adjustment comes in. I'll take the blanket and put 1 to maybe 2 little notched rolls right behind the back of my cervical spine. And then allow the hands to open out into a low V position or rest on your belly here. Give the legs a little shake in and out, internal, external rotation. And at one point, this is where you've done all of what I call fluffing. Checking in, adjusting, moving. At one point, you have to just trust that you've done what you can do and let it go. So give yourself a moment here to set up the position. I will also say, as you're setting this up, this is a video that you can come back to time and time again. At one point, you could stay here and just continue to hang for 5, 10, 15 minutes and let the video shut off as it shuts off. So do not feel like you need to finish with me today. But again, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to just be in this space. Once you have settled in, take a deep breath in through the nose. Release and let it go out through the mouth. Permission to settle. Such an important thing to give your time and your body space to just be. Much easier said than done, but that is why we practice. That is why we get on the mat. And as things are ever changing, this practice might be wonderful and easy some days and very antsy and hard other days. but give yourself the space to practice and see what happens. Connect to the breath, let it flow in, and let it empty out. And in fact, allow your body to breathe you. As you grasp that concept, you suddenly are not behind the wheel. You're not the driver anymore. You're allowing the brilliance of your body to take over. It knows exactly what it's doing. And you get to just be a passenger as you are breathed here. At any point, if the mind wanders, try not to get stuck on anything in particular. Just let things keep moving. Acknowledge, notice, and then say next. Acknowledge, notice, next. And enjoy those little pockets of space, the quietness on the in-between. Embrace the days when there's more of it. And have grace with yourself on the days where there's very little space in between. So as you continue to lie here in this posture, this is where I will gently sign off. I hope that having taken this time for yourselves, you feel a sense of relief or moving the needle a little bit to just feel somewhat balanced and more calm in your life. Thank you so much for getting on the mat with me today. Namaste.